So today we're going to harvest some of our potatoes. We've planted all along this way. We planted potatoes. Now you can kind of see our squash plants and even our watermelon have kind of overtaken it a little bit, which is fine because potatoes grow in the ground. They're a tuber. So the plant, yes, is on the top and it flowers and then it dies. So this plant, you can see it's on its last leg. It's all done for the season. It is ready to be picked. And you can actually see, if I move some stuff here, you can actually see some of the potatoes right here on top that have been already. And you'll notice when they're on top, they get discolored a little bit. You can kind of see how dark it is, and then because they're exposed to the sun, or they'll start turning green. Now, typically, I would suggest using a pitchfork to pull up your potatoes, but my kids walked off with mine, and so we're going to use a shovel. So I actually am going to go a little bit farther out from the plant to start digging, because I don't want to cut any of these potatoes by accident. So if I start out a little bit farther and work my way in with the digging, then I'm less likely to ruin potatoes. But I'm just digging kind of around the dead plant here. And you can already see I've got all these potatoes right here close to the surface. And what it does is the root goes down and then it spreads out and the potatoes come off of those roots. And so depending on how much space that potato plant has, it can take up a lot of room and produce a lot of potatoes, or it'll just produce a few. So we did a little experiment and planted some potatoes in a feed bag, and there just wasn't a lot of space for those potatoes to really grow, and so we didn't get very many potatoes. So that was a little disappointing, but we also planted potatoes in the regular way, so we didn't have that much of an issue. So you can kind of see, oh, there's even still a potato attached. Ooh. So you can see, here are the roots, and a potato comes off of each one of these. So right here, you can see here's the root. Hold on. There we go. Here's the root. It comes down to the potato. The potato grows. So the deeper you can get your roots, the more potatoes are possible for you to be able to harvest. So that's why when planting potatoes, you actually are trying to build up around the plant. So you'll plant the plant and then add soil and add soil and add soil as the plant grows, so that you can get even more potatoes. And so far this is looking like it's going to be a pretty nice little harvest. Oh, look at that one. It's a nice big red potato. I'm super excited. I love red potatoes. I buy them. We live in Idaho, so we have potatoes everywhere all the time. But most of what they grow are russet potatoes, which are delicious. But sometimes a girl just needs a good red potato. So this year, oh, here's a russet from the plant next to it. So I'm just going to keep digging. And you want to dig fairly deep just to make sure you get whatever potatoes. And I can see these roots going that direction. So I'm going to assume there's a lot more potatoes going this direction. Move my patch over a little. It's kind of going in a circle, fanning out far enough away from the plant that hopefully I won't cut into any potatoes. I don't really want to cut my potatoes in half, right? But you can kind of see I crinkle the soil as I go, shift it out of the way, just to make sure I don't miss a potato. There's my pile of potatoes. Dug a pretty big area. This is a pretty good harvest for one potato plant. You know, we've got, let's see if we can count here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. So 30 or 32 potatoes in varying sizes. And we have several more plants. So for our family, I already have harvested one potato plant earlier in the month because it was dying down. I think we planted 5 or 6 potato plants. So let's say each potato plant gives us 30 potatoes. You know, for our family of 5, 30 potatoes is, you know, a lot. We don't eat potatoes every day. We maybe eat them once, twice a week, maybe 3 times in the winter months with soups and stews. But this is a great harvest for us, and it will last for a while. So I'm gonna get these in my bucket, get them up to the house, and kind of show you where I put them and how I store them. I have my potatoes here that I brought up from the garden. It's a big old bucket of potatoes, which is awesome. And I'm just gonna put them here in this drawer in our refrigerator that's in our garage. I'm just using my hands to dust them off with my glove, just getting all the big chunks of dirt off of them. You can wash them. You just want to make sure if you wash them that you keep them nice and dry. So let them dry before you store them, or else you'll end up with them rotting. But yeah, I'm just washing them, putting them right in this drawer. They'll stay nice and cold right here in this refrigerator. And if you do not have a refrigerator that you can put your potatoes in, you can put them in any cold place. So we'll put them in boxes or bins or crates, or I don't usually put them in buckets because the air doesn't circulate as well, but then we just put them in a cold area. So in a garage that is like a dark corner of your garage, on a shelf, in a pantry on the floor. If you have a basement, you could put them under someone's bed or in a closet. It's pretty easy to find places that are nice and cold. And then we will make sure, if I do put them in like a box or a bin or something that doesn't have a lot of circulation, I definitely make sure and put like a paper towel or newspaper at the bottom, and that will help soak up any moisture that it might come in contact with, so that if it does start to rot as well, it will kind of soak that up. So, and then we just check them regularly to make sure there's no rotten potatoes in there, because once one rots, then it kind of spreads. So you want to keep them nice and dry. So we like to keep ours in this fridge here, but we had a lot more potatoes this year that we harvested, so we will have some just in boxes in our garage. And one of the things I love about growing my own potatoes is that you get lots of sizes of potatoes, so I can use them for lots of different types of meals. So there they are in my drawer. They're all ready for us to use this year, and we will just come in when we need them, and they'll be great all year long. So that is how we store our potatoes.